just make sure you don't forget them, or else you won't be able to tell. You have to know the laws to use them in a problem. So let's see, we have log base of 8 of 4 minus 2 equals negative log base of 8 of x. Okay. Like I said on the last problem, solving for logs is very similar to solving for x. So, you know how we have to have x on the same side to solve? We have to get them together. Same thing with logs. You have to get the logs on the same side before you can change it to exponential form. Okay? So, on the right side, we have negative log base of 8 of x. If you want to move it to the left, and same with x's, it doesn't move it if you, it doesn't matter if you move it to the left or to the right, as long as they're together. So let's just say we want to move it to the left. The opposite of a negative log would be a positive log, and they're going to cancel each other out. Okay, it's just like x's. Okay, if I have a negative x over here and I want to move it to the left, I would add the x, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Okay, so now I have a log base of 8 of 4 plus a log base of 8 of x minus 2. I'm going to go ahead and write all of this out just so you guys can see it one step at a time. So log base of 8 of 4 plus log base of 8 of x minus 2 equals, and I don't have anything on the right side, so I'm going to put 0. Okay, you want to get your logs by itself. So I'm going to move the 2 to the right side. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So I get log base of 8 of 4 plus log base of 8 of x equals 2. So you see how now all I have on the left side are log bases of 8? Okay, that's what you want. Now, this is going to be really hard to change the exponential form. So, this is where your laws of logarithms come into play. If I condense it, it's going to make it easier to change to an exponential form. So if I'm adding and I want to condense them, if you remember from yesterday or the day before, I'm going to multiply them. So log base of 8 of 4 times x, or 4x, equals 2. Okay. Now I can put it in exponential form. And I'm going to put it over here. So I have 8 squared equals 4x. You want to start with your base, move counterclockwise. Okay. So I can figure out what 8 squared is. What is 8 squared? Okay, 64. So 64 equals 4x. I'm going to solve for x. So divide by 4, and x equals 16. Okay, so a little bit of strategy here. You want to get your logs on the same side. You want to get the logs by itself on the same side, condense it, and then change the exponential form. So let's try number 8. On 8, I have 2 log base of 4 of 8 minus 2 equals 2 log base of 4 of x. Okay. So just like number 7, we need our logs to be on the same side. So I'm going to subtract that 2 log base of 4 of x, that whole thing. I'm going to subtract it and move it to the other side. Oh, I'm sorry. That should be minus 2 log base of 4 of x. Okay. So I get 2 log base of 4 of 8 minus 2 log base of 4 of x. Minus 2 equals nothing on the right side, so equals 0. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is move that 2 to the other side. So add 2, and I get 2 on the right. Let's go ahead and change, see how these logs both have a 2 in front? Let's go ahead and change that to an exponent. So that would be 8 squared. Remember, if you have a number in front, that's like your exponent. So this would be x squared. So let's see. I have log base of 4 of 8 squared minus log base of 4 of x squared. Okay. If you don't remember these laws of logarithms, you need to go back and look at those notes. Okay. Let's see. Another law of logarithms is that whenever you're subtracting and you want to condense it, you're going to divide. So log of 4, it's going to be 8 squared divided by x squared equals 2. So I just condensed the left side. Okay, 8 squared is the same thing as 64. I'm going to go ahead and change that. So this would be log base of 4 of 64 divided by x squared equals 2. Okay. Now that I've simplified it as much as I can simplify it, I'm going to change it to exponential form. So 4 squared equals 64 over x squared. So start with the base. I'm going to move counterclockwise. Okay. So I can figure out what 4 squared is. It's 16. Now I need that x squared out of the denominator. I can't do anything with it as a fraction like that. So the opposite of dividing by x squared is multiplying by x squared. And I'm going to do that to both sides. So this will be 16x squared equals 64. And I want my x squared by itself, so I'm going to divide by 16. And x squared equals 64 divided by 16. Punch that in your calculator. I'll give you a couple seconds. You should get 4. And we still aren't done because we don't have x by itself. So how do we get rid of the squared? The opposite of squaring something is square rooting it. So square root both sides, and x equals 2.